Alright, it's the next day. 42 degrees right now. That low coolant light's going on because I pumped all the coolant out of the reservoir. I'll show you that in a second. I turned this on at right before 11:26. We'll just call it 11:26 because it was like a couple seconds before 11:26. It's funny that that low coolant took about 2 minutes to come on, but it did. I don't know. We'll see how long it takes to get up to temperature. So we've already been running a little over 2 minutes. And it is sunny out, but this is shaded. The sun's behind me, so the engine bay is almost all shaded, so it's not like the sun's going to contribute to warming up. You can see I emptied that. I mean, the water does come, like, it's called a steam vent, I think somebody referred to it, but I mean, it dumps in there pretty quick. And if I just quickly open this, you'll see just from the steam vent, it moves a decent amount of coolant through there. You can see it going, and I didn't even completely empty the whole reservoir, but I mean, it goes, it's flowing. So that means that's cooling the reservoir the whole time. So not only does it have to heat the water in the reservoir, but the water pump is pumping up to this way, and of course it can't pump completely up this way because the thermostat down here is closed, but it's trying to pump into the radiator, and it is pumping some through the radiator because obviously that's where this vent is getting its pressure from, the top side of the radiator on the opposite side. So it's pumping it right into there. And now that the coolant's out, you can see it's going pretty good. So it has to heat all that, which I don't think is very efficient. I'll show you how much I pumped out here. I was probably like maybe like a centimeter or so below the fill line. And what I pumped out was over 2 quarts, a little over 2 quarts. It's pretty level, maybe right at 2 quarts. And like I said, I wasn't even at the top, so I would have probably had at least 2.5 quarts from this thing, which is a decent amount of fluid. I know people say like, oh, the capacity's 3 gallons or 13 quarts, or I've seen 15 quarts, and that's not my experience. Whenever I've dumped all the coolant out and refilled, I would even undo the thermostat there to make sure I can get as much out of the water pump and hopefully the engine as I could. And I would only get 2 gallons back in when I filled it. And I just saw somebody say when they flushed their 06 that they filled it back up with only 1.5 gallons. So, see if anything opened yet. This is hot now. This is still cold down here. Heater hoses are warming up. We'll see if temperature's climbing. Temperature has not climbed yet. We're at 5 minutes in. So we'll see. I mean, I was hoping at least a good 5 minutes would come off that 15-minute warm-up time I got yesterday with the reservoir completely filled, but we'll see. Nothing's moved yet, and again, I do have the heater on heat, so yeah. Doesn't appear to have opened yet. I'll pause it. I'll come back when the temperature gauge starts to move. I got a correction to make here. I was reading this wrong when I was reading it quickly, and I was reading the liter side, and this is about 2 liters, so it's over 2 quarts. So I would easily get 2.5, so it's over 1/2 gallon worth of coolant in here when it's filled all the way. And that's not even counting, you know, the coolant that's in this however many foot, 4 foot long hose right here. Not that it's a huge hose, but you know. And the temperature, it actually is starting to climb. So it has, I think the thermostat's opened up. I reach down, this still feels cold, but I think the thermostat's opened up. I don't know, it still feels cold, so who knows, it just could be getting that cold water from the radiator. Radiator hasn't heated completely up yet, but gauge has climbed to the first notch, and we're 9 minutes approaching 10 minutes, which probably is a little quicker than yesterday. We'll see how long it takes to fully get to the line. We're over the first one now, so when it gets to the 1 notch below half is when that's about the warmed up mark. So still at 9 minutes, about to get to 10. Maybe this would have only saved, I don't know, three minutes of warm-up time, dumping that 2.5 quarts out. So it still takes too damn long. I mean, it's possible maybe my thermostat's a little stuck. Maybe the gasket that goes on the thermostat is allowing water by. I don't know. It just takes too long. No other car I've ever had takes this long. My wife's car has an elevated reservoir and a closed system, and it does not take this long. She gets heat within, like, I don't know, a minute, and this thing takes, like, you know, 10, something like that, which is annoying in the winter. So we're definitely at 10 minutes, and we're almost up to temperature. It'll probably get there in another minute or two. Let's see if I actually feel any heat now. The thermostat hose, and finally I get some heat down here, so I think that's open and flowing through finally. It feels half hot and half cold. The one side's hot, the one side's cold. This still feels cold down here, which is weird because that's the line that goes across and feeds the thermostat, and I'm almost positive that means that that's the coolant that's going back into the engine that's cooled by the radiator. So why this would be warm and the line down there would be cold, it's the same line, so that doesn't make sense to me, but whatever. Maybe you're getting heat from the metal warming up the water and hose here, I don't know, but it's cold on the bottom of this hose and hot on the top. This hose has been hot for a while because that's coming directly from the engine into the radiator. Yeah, this is pretty much completely cold down here. Guess that's just the radiator doing its job and getting rid of the heat. And we're just about at temperature. We're at a little over 12 minutes, so maybe we saved 2 or 3 minutes by dumping those 2.5 quarts out. Not enough. Still, now it's climbing quick because that thermostat's open, and we're just about up to temperature. So see if it goes up all the way up to that line, and we're at 12. About 12 minutes, 12 or 13 minutes, and it stopped moving. So that's full temp. 12 to 13 minutes. So it saved a couple minutes, not much. All right, guys.